Hello everybody and welcome to another basic emotion video. This video will be about fear. It's the third basic emotion that I will be discussing. If you want to know more about the 4 basic emotions, you can also watch my videos about happiness and about anger. So in this video we'll be talking about what fear is used for and how our body is using fear to handle different kind of situations. So this video will be split in 3 parts. The first part will be about what fear is and what we use it for. The second part will be about how you overcome fear and use it to your advantage. And the third part will be my own experience with fear and how I've experienced in my life what fear does and how I overcame some of my fears. So what is fear exactly? Well, it's an emotion that puts you on high alert. It's a survival mechanism that makes sure that you're ready to take action on a problem. You feel more focused and alert, but it can also immobilize you. This is what's called a freeze moment. You're sort of like paralyzed and you can't move. All these things together make the terms fight, flight or freeze. Our ancestors used it back in the day when they spotted a predator, for example. And then if they saw the predator, they could freeze, so the predator wouldn't notice them. They could also make themselves ready to run and to flee the situation, or they could be ready to fight the predator.
Come on. Do it! Do it! Come on, come on! Kill me, I'm here! Kill me!
And this could be a wolf, a smaller predator that a human can fight. If you fight a grizzly bear, I don't think any of these options will help. It's best to freeze, I think, but yeah, you don't have much chance, unfortunately. And even a wolf, you have to be a skilled warrior to fight a wolf and win. If you see those police dogs, they tear up thieves like there's no tomorrow. So you have to know what you're doing when you're fighting a wolf. Okay, so the next point I want to talk about is overcoming your fears. Or conquering your fears. Fear can be very paralyzing, and if you experience long-term fear, it can really help to meditate or use mindfulness and maybe even talk to someone about your fears to try to cope with the fears. And like I said, in the short term, fear can also freeze. When you're on a high building, you can feel that fear paralyzing you. Not all people, but most people feel that fear that you don't want to jump off a building. The same goes for when a building is on fire. You don't just run into that building. That will be, well, stupid, right? It's very dangerous. But there are people that have been training and using their muscle memory to overcome those fears. Firemen, for example, run into burning buildings to save people or maybe their pets. They have trained and trained and trained, so they know what to do. They know what they can handle, they know how much they can push themselves, and they still feel this adrenaline and alertness from fear, but use it to save other people. It's also something fighters do. When you're an experienced fighter and you go into a pub and you come across someone that is very irritating and who wants to push you around and punch you. If you're a fighter, you know what to do. You use that focus and your alertness and remember the techniques that you've learned and use the fight term for this one and handle the situation like that. People who don't know how to fight can maybe freeze when they get punched or maybe try to run away. What I completely could understand, if you're being punched and there's someone after you, you just run. If you can't fight, run.
If you are a big monster human and you want to fight me and you square off with me, guess what I'm going to do? Run away. Because I don't want to get involved. Even if I see skinny little Lex out on the street and you start yelling at me and saying you want to fight me, I don't want to fight you.
So now I've come to my last point, and that's my own experience with fear. I've experienced a lot of fear in my life. I have arachnophobia, so I'm afraid of spiders. I was afraid of smaller spiders, but I've conquered that fear. I've lived in a basement where in, 2 months, there were like 25, like this, we call it a huisspin. It's a house spider. It's like big spiders. They're like very big spiders and I don't like them. And yeah, sorry for all the animal lovers, but I couldn't bear to leave them in my room or let them out because they came in anyway. They came in back anyway and I didn't want their nest. I didn't want any spiders in my home, so I crush them, unfortunately. Right now I can handle most of those spiders. I still find them very scary in tight rooms, but when I see them outside I think it's okay. I don't do anything with it. But when I'm inside and they're too close to comfort, I have to do something about it. I also had a fear of dogs when I was very young, and I overcame that fear by our family getting a dog, so I had to get used to it. And now on to some bigger fears of mine that I still have, and that is the fear of, well, losing someone. I've lost someone that has taken his own life. I've lost some colleagues. I think that also had an impact. Of course, your family members, some family members eventually grow old. So it's a fear that sticks with me, and sometimes it paralyzes me, but it's something that we can't do anything about because it happens. And what I'm doing right now is just living day by day and just enjoying every moment that I have with my friends and family, and also with strangers or with nature. It helps me get through the day when I'm having a tough day, and it also brings some joy. I also am a perfectionist, and I find it very scary to be on stage. I have stage fright. In Holland we call it plankenkoorts. That's plank fever. So that's also a way how you can put it. I also have a fear of failing. I don't like to fail, but I know it's part of life, and after failing a lot I can handle those moments better than I did before. But I can really be stuck in the past and think about all my failures, and that can also be very paralyzing. So just like I said, the way I'm handling this thing is to fight it, you know. No, but to prepare myself and to learn from my past experiences, and that's what I hope to do with these videos, with these kind of videos, that you also learn something from it, and you also try to reflect on your actions and on your fears, and how you can maybe cope with your fear and use it, for example. But also the other emotions, you know, it's always a big cluster of emotions that determines how you feel, and that can have an impact on your thoughts, and you can really be stuck in some things when you're afraid of something. But eventually I also made my YouTube channel, even though it was very frightful, but eventually did it. Because, well, Will Smith, yeah, I know he's someone that is not being respected as much as he was back in the day. But he said that fear is a sort of barrier, and when you overcome that fear, he was going to jump and skydive out of a plane. I also did that with the military school, and I overcame my fear of heights. I really have a fear of heights, but I overcame it quite a bit. Yeah. It was really scary, and just I was so tired after that, but it was really like Will Smith said. He was so afraid, but eventually he did it. And then after that he was flying in the air, you know, and you have so much adrenaline. You can see the world on a whole different view. That's what I experienced, at least. And that's something I learned from him that I took with me in the last years. And what I've also learned is that, I don't know who said it, but that excitement is the same thing as fear. So you experience this adrenaline and you're being prepared for a problem or a difficult situation. And the thing was that athletes were also afraid, but saw that as excitement. Because when you're excited, you're also feeling adrenaline. You're also making yourself ready to go at a situation, and they have like a different kind of mindset. So when they compete, they don't feel those frightening, fearful thoughts, but enjoy those exciting and challenging moments that they want to go head on. And that's, in my opinion, a good way to overcome your fears. So with that, I want to end the video. I hope you have enjoyed it again. And if you liked it, please like and subscribe. If you want to know anything about fear or want to talk with me, have a conversation about fear, you can put it in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.